The Sennheiser Sport True Wireless are here to bring top-tier sound quality to your workouts. So let's not waste any time. So first up, let's talk about that Bluetooth connection. So the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless are featuring Bluetooth 5.2 with SBC, AAC, and aptX as their connection codecs. Now this makes them easily compatible with your Android or iOS devices. When it comes to Bluetooth range, I managed to pull around 10 meters or just under 33 feet. In addition to this, the Sport True Wireless are also featuring single usage mode, and that's where you can use each earbud individually while the other one is still charging in its case. Now moving over to lag or latency, these are featuring minimal lag when watching videos or movies, any of your streaming apps. It's not going to be an issue. If you're somebody who wants to use these for mobile gaming, if you're going to be playing casual games, not going to be really a big issue there. But if you are a competitive first-person shooter type of mobile gamer, you're probably going to want to look elsewhere. The Sennheiser Sport True Wireless are not really a gaming earbud, so they're not really the right tool for that particular job. So now let's move over to the battery life. So the Sport True Wireless were claiming 9 hours on a single charge with an additional 27 hours on the case. In my own actual testing, I managed to get 7 hours and 33 minutes at 75% volume, and that was using the aptX codec. Now, when it comes to recharging the earbuds, a total recharge time on them takes about 90 minutes from fully dead. Now, charging the case itself uses USB Type-C. Sadly, there is no wireless charging with the Sport True Wireless. Now, the case itself is very similar to what we've seen with the other CX series earbuds, like the CX Plus, the CX True Wireless, and the CX400 BT. The main difference is that this one is a little bit thicker. Now, the reasoning behind the size difference of the case for the Sport True Wireless is so that they can easily accommodate the earbuds with the new ear fins still attached. So now let's move over to one of the most important questions that we're going to have around these earbuds, or just earbuds in general, and that's going to be the comfort. So for me, comfort with the Sport True Wireless is sort of a mixed bag, but let me break it down for you. Now, I have large ears and the Sport True Wireless fit me very well. That said, I would not recommend these for people with small ears, since much like the rest of the CX series, the Sports are a bit of a bulky earbud and can cause pain in the concha of your ears if you're somebody with small ears. Now, in day-to-day use, I have not experienced any fatigue or discomfort. I'm actually using the large ear tips in combination with the small ear fins to get a perfect fit for my ears. Now, trying all the tips and the wings is going to be crucial to a positive experience. Now, when it comes to grip for workouts and for sports, it is excellent. I haven't experienced any sort of slippage or falling out while I'm doing my walks, eating, or even just doing my day-to-day work. The combo of grip and the IP54 rating make these perfect for you gym rats or fitness enthusiasts alike, and that's going to give you a nice resistance against splashes, against rain, water, sweat, or even dust. Now, moving over to people who are going to want to use these earbuds for sleeping. These can work well for back sleepers, but side sleep is going to be a no-go since these do stick out quite a bit. Now, last but not least, when it comes to body-borne noises or occlusion, like footsteps, heartbeat, breathing, things of that nature, the Sport True Wireless handle it surprisingly well, and it's less noticeable than many other True Wireless earbuds on the market. Now, as a quick sidebar, if you've gotten any value out of this review so far, make sure you hit that thumbs up along with that subscribe button for me. It's free for you, and it helps the channel greatly. So now let's move over to the controls. The Sport True Wireless are featuring full touch controls. So that's going to give you a single tap, double tap, triple tap, and a hold or long press, whatever you want to call it, all of which are customizable via the Sennheiser Smart Control app. You also have the ability to completely shut off touch controls. If, say, you're one of those people that just kind of doesn't like them and you'd rather control things with your phone, you have the option of doing that. As far as responsiveness, the controls are very responsive and they do give you an audible beep when in use. So now let's talk about the aforementioned app support. The Sennheiser Smart Control app is available for both iOS and Android alike. Now, when you open it up, you're going to be greeted with the battery life. Below this, you're going to see your Adaptable Acoustics. Below that, you're going to see your connections. Below this, you're going to see the customizable EQ with 6 presets and a podcast mode. Below this, you're going to see the sound check mode. Below that, you're going to have your touch control on and off toggle, plus the ability to customize all those controls. And below that, you have your side tone toggles. Now, I highly encourage you to download this app if you do pick up these earbuds, or any Sennheiser earbuds for that matter. And this way you can kind of experience all the different options and menus, click all the buttons, kind of get in there and play with it and see what all of those options can do. It's a nice experience overall. So now let's move over to the raw performance of the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless. And first up, let's start with the Adaptable Acoustics. So to put it simply, you can adapt your sound experience to fit your level of training or awareness, whichever you feel like having. Adaptable Acoustics allow you to select either open or closed style ear tips along with an EQ mode to provide the perfect sound setting to suit your workout or current activity. Surprisingly enough, it actually works. The two EQ presets are tailored to the type of ear adapter being used. It's important to set this correctly for the best experience. Now, on the open aware, while it's not as good as a proper transparency mode, this is a solid middle ground. I can hold simple verbal exchanges and maintain situational awareness while I'm out on a walk, so it actually works quite well. In the closed focus mode, this mode basically turns these into a standard CX series earbud. Excellent passive noise isolation for a superior listening experience. Now, obviously, those two EQ modes are going to change the way that it sounds. So if you choose the wrong mode, you'll have a very weird experience with them. But if you do decide to choose the open aware mode while using the closed ear tips, these things become bass cannons. So just be careful with that. So now let's move over to the volume. So the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless measured at 105.1 decibels peak volume. So they get pretty loud, but probably not the loudest earbuds on the market. For me, normal listening comes in around 65 to about 80% volume on a day-to-day basis. So nothing too crazy. While 105 dB is still very, very loud and louder than most people should even need, there are still some people who are hard of hearing who might need a little bit more. So that's going to bring us over to the sound quality of the Sport True Wireless. And once again, Sennheiser is using their True Response transducer, which is basically a 7mm dynamic driver that delivers excellent sound quality. But let's go ahead and break that down. So first, let's start with the bass. Now, the Sport True Wireless have excellent bass extension with plenty of sub bass in there. It hits hard when needed, but it doesn't come in super muddy. It's punchy and controlled at the same time. And as I said before, if you use that open setting with the closed ear tips, get ready because they seriously rumble. Now, one of the test tracks that I used for testing was a song called Full Circle off of Nas's King's Disease album. Excellent production from Hit Boy on this track featuring The Firm. If you're into hip hop, in a real hip hop, then this whole album is highly recommended, like no skip status. You gotta try it out if you haven't. So now let's move over to the mid-range, and the mids have a smooth, neutral vibe to them. Not thin, but they come in nicely. There's a warm sound here. Vocals come in rich for both male and female singers. And also with instruments, guitars and drums, they feel alive. So that was one of the things that I really took away from it. Now, one of the test tracks that I used to test out the mids was a song called Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Elvin Bishop. This track is a mainstay in my playlist for the instrumentation and the male vocals, and it can really show where the Sennheisers can actually shine when it comes to sound quality. And then that's going to bring us over to the treble. And the treble here is clean and crisp. It's not overly bright, but it can be boosted in the app if you need some additional clarity or airiness in the sound. Not the most detailed, but they still maintain an airiness and a lightness to the sound of cymbals and strings. There is still good instrument separation here, but the stage feels close and intimate. So obviously not the widest sound stage that I've heard on a set of earbuds. Now, one of the test tracks that I used for this was Me and Mr. Jones by Amy Winehouse, God rest her soul. The whole song is absolutely amazing, from her voice and the vocals and the lyrics all the way to the actual arrangement of the music. If you haven't heard this, please do yourself a favor and give it a listen. Now, when it comes to the EQ, most of the testing was done with the factory EQ settings applied. I also made my own adjustment that I will show you here on the screen in case you want to give it a try for yourself. One of the things I will say about Sennheiser earbuds, including the Sport True Wireless, is they do respond quite well to EQ, whether you're using the Sennheiser app or something like Wavelet. You have a different option there if you want to mess around with it. So now, if I have to give Sennheiser any sort of constructive criticism on the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless, firstly, it's going to be the lack of multi-point connectivity. We're in 2022, a lot more earbuds are offering this feature at lower price levels, so hopefully this is something we can see them either add via firmware update to these or in the next version of the Sport True Wireless. Secondly, the bulky size is just not really compatible with small ears. The Sport True Wireless should have been a full redesign with better ergonomics and a smaller size compared to the other earbuds in the CX lineup, especially when we're talking about improving compatibility for different ear shapes and sizes across both women and men. So that would have been something really, really nice to see. Hopefully this is something that they listen to because yeah, they're compatible with medium and larger ears, but it sort of leaves a whole subset of people completely left out. So now let's move over to the comparisons. And for this comparison, I'm going to be comparing them to the Beats Fit Pro and the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. It's going to be a little bit different because we don't have like noise canceling on the Sennheiser earbuds. So the comparison ranking is going to go from comfort, volume, and then sound quality. So let's start with the comfort ranking. In first place, that's going to go to the Beats Fit Pro. In second place, you've got the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. And in third place, you've got the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless. The Beats are the smallest of the bunch here and the most comfortable by far. The Liberty 3 Pro are a bit bigger, but still comfortable for me personally. And then sadly, the Sennheiser are the bulkiest of the three and came in last place accordingly. So now let's do the volume ranking. And in first place, we got Beats with 114.2 dB. Second place, we got Soundcore with 111 dB. And in third place, we've got Sennheiser with 105.2 dB. Now I believe the numbers here speak for themselves, so let's move over to the sound quality. So for the sound quality ranking, in first place, we've got the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. In second place, we've got the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless. In third place, we've got the Beats Fit Pro. Now, Soundcore continues to impress with their coaxial dual driver setup and extensive EQ customization. The Sennheisers give you a warmer sound, but don't extend as deep into both treble and the bass regions. Now, the Beats are also excellent and come in at a very close third place. So mind you, whether you're number 1 or number 3 on this list, all three of these sound absolutely excellent. So any of them are going to be very, very good for most people. So now let's move over into some microphone quality samples. This way you can hear the way all three sound, and that way you can figure out which one is going to work best for you. All right, so here we have the microphone quality test for the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here we have the microphone test for the Beats Fit Pro. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, once again, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. So here we have the microphone test for the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, once again, I'm in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Sennheiser Sport True Wireless in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Beats Fit Pro in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As always, you're going to have to be the judge of the microphone quality down in the comment section. So with that out of the way, Sennheiser was kind enough to send these earbuds over for this review. There was no monetary compensation involved, and Sennheiser was not afforded any copy approval or early access to this video prior to it being published. Now, I'm telling you this because I believe in honesty and transparency with you as the viewer. As always, please be sure to watch multiple reviews before making that final purchase decision. Now, if you're interested in seeing a video about another set of earbuds that I think you will absolutely love, check out the video that I'm going to leave for you right up here on the screen. With that said, my name is HiFi, and I'm out this bitch.